Hello, boys and girls. It's time for another episode of Story Time with Reva.
At the flowing well.
Okay, so 3.
But it was low and it was full of water and gravel and sand and there's lots of people got stuck down there. Not just John Dillinger, but there was only one John Dillinger, of course. And this is where a lot of people from Muncie and Anderson, of course, see, way back then, not everybody had a car to drive. And they'd go down there and they'd do their drinking, and sometimes they'd take their alcoholic beverages down there and their booze and get them all chilled real good down there around that cold flowing well. Then they'd go back and pick them up, and this would go on 24 hours a day, but a lot of it went on during the dark of the night. And Papa and Mama Curtis had the closest telephone, and a lot of times people down there at the flowing well would get their cars stuck in the ditch or there at the flowing well. And of course, most of them had already been drinking. Well, they'd walk down the county road south of the flowing well and walk up the hill to Raul Lennington's house. But Raul and Cal Lennington never had a telephone, so they could never call and get any help for them. So then, if somebody went, and of course most of the people that walked up there had already been drinking, and this was a steep hill that they had to walk up to get to Lennington's house. So they'd just say, well, just go to the next house down the road north of the flowing well. Well, that was where Papa and Mama Curtis lived. And they'd say, you'll find their mailbox, then just turn and walk up the lane, up across the bridge, and he'll help pull you out. Of course, this was always during the night, and this is back in the bootlegged days. And so this fellow turned around and he had to walk back past the flowing well then to get to Papa and Mama Curtis's lane. And he walked up that lane, knocked on the door, got Papa and Mama awake, and he told Papa his story. And by that time, of course, with that long walk, he'd kind of sobered up. A lot of them had kind of sobered up by the time they'd walked that distance from the flowing well and then all the lane to get up the hill. They was pretty much sobered up by the time they'd get up there to the house and barn. And this man told him that his car wouldn't start down there, or else it was stuck. I guess it was stuck down there in the flowing well. And he had been told by neighbors down there that Papa had a good team of horses and he'd go down there and pull them out. So Papa got dressed and everything and went out there. And of course, Mama didn't go back to bed. She'd go back upstairs and look out the window. But she didn't stay downstairs.
The show starts in 6 minutes.
And then, after Papa and this fella walked with Papa after he got his horse's harness put on and everything, and he walked with Papa back down there to the flowing well. And they talked, just small talk. Got down there and Papa hitched the horses up to this man's car and pulled it out. And then the man, after he'd done that with this man, handed Papa Curtis 2 brand new $20 bills. And Papa said that when he kind of opened his billfold, he saw a whole lot of brand new bills of currency in his billfold. It was very, very unusual to see that many new pieces of money in anybody's billfold. So Papa took it and thanked him for it, and this man thanked Papa for it, pulled him out too. Then Papa walked with his team of horses down the road and up the lane and took him in the barn and took the harness off of him, then went back to bed. Then the next day it came out in the paper. This man's picture was on the front page of the Muncie paper and said it was John Dillinger. And Papa said, well, that's the man that I took the horses down and pulled his car out of the mud during the night.
Episode of Storytime with Reva.